Hi everybody, this is Harmony and this is my channel, Cornerstone Stitchery. On this channel we talk about my crafting journey, which usually revolves around cross stitch, but lately there's been crochet and knitting thrown in the mix. Thank you everyone for your subscriptions and your likes and your comments and your views. I totally appreciate everyone coming along with me on this journey of my crafting, which has actually evolved in me designing cross stitch charts, which again, I will leave any shop updates until the end. So that way, if you're not interested in that, then you don't have to sit through it. You can go on to the next video. But I really do appreciate all of the support and the kind words that I've received. It means so much to me. So thank you. Today we're going to start off with the knitting, and the knitting that I have is the Musselburgh hat that I started last time. It's been 2 weeks and I got this much done. I actually put in the stitch marker after week 1 since my last video, just to see how much I would get done in the between week 1 and week 2. And look at, I mean, yes, this is a lot, but then look at between the marker and where I'm at now. Like, that is a ton. So this project I work on in my lunch breaks, which I haven't in the last 2 weeks, and I'll tell you why. This has been while I was in the car with my husband, when I remember to take it with me. And we actually went out with some of his coworkers to go bowling. And I actually didn't bowl. I just socialized while everyone else was bowling. And some of the other wives didn't bowl. Some did and some didn't. But I just talked to the guys at the table while I was knitting and they were bowling, and I had a great time. And so I got a lot of this done. This is a child small, so we will see. I don't even know how long I have to knit this, so I should probably look at the pattern. But this is the Musselburgh by Ysolda Teague. It's a great pattern. This is, I think, number 5 that I've knit. I've knit my husband one, myself one, a friend at church, the last one, and then this one. So I think this is number 5. This is a really, really great pattern. Once you get past the increases, then you knit, then you do decreases, and then you have yourself a fabulous hat. And if you have any questions about this hat, send me an email or comment below and we'll discuss. It's just a paid pattern, so I'm not going to say too much, but I'm just saying this hat is fabulous. This is using the Quirky sock yarn by Simply Socks Yarn Company. I'm going to be completely honest. I may have said it before, but I'm not at all enjoying this yarn. The last ball that I used, there was a knot in it, and so I had to cut it out. And this one, lo and behold, I'm at bowling with my husband and there was a knot in it and I didn't have my scissors. So I'm like, oh, what do? I made it work so that way I could keep going. And I'm just not enjoying it. It does, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it like twists up on itself when I get it off the ball. And I tried to wind it with my ball winder from the opposite end, and it was going to take forever because it kept getting stuck on the ends because it's kind of poofy. But I have 4 balls of this left because the sock club was 6 balls of yarn, and I am going to remember to wind them before I start because it's such a pain in the behind. So, but the hat itself is amazing. And I think I know who I want to give this to. I just don't know if it's going to fit. I'm just making all these hats, and then they're going to go into a gift pile or a gift bin. And then I'm just going to give them out when the opportunity strikes. Okay. So now on to crochet. I have one crochet project, and it is my temperature blanket for 2019. I am using the pattern, the overlay mosaic crochet pattern that Peggy, I'm trying to just fold this so that way you can see it, inspired me to do because she was doing hers. Last time I showed this to you, I had 21 days done. I was done through January 21st. Now I am done through, I was done through February 28th of 2019. and I put a row in yesterday, and I'm like, there's a mistake somewhere. I had to rip out the row I just put in and 3 more rows. So I think I'm at February 25th, and here we are. And as you can see, that 9 is emerging nicely, and it is getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The technique is easy. I'm not necessarily a fan of crocheting through 1 loop versus 2 loops. I'm not a huge fan, but it is easy. So, I mean, I can't complain that it's hard, because it's not, this whole technique is not hard. I'm just not a fan of doing that. To me, it kind of feels like there's not enough structure. But for something like this, that is minimum of 365 rows, I'm putting a base row on the bottom, and then I'll put of white, and then I'll put a base row, or a row on the top in white. What to me, it doesn't seem like there's enough structure and stability. However, when you have 365 plus rows, if you do regular single crochets, then it's giving more height. But when you actually crochet through just 1 loop, the stitches are squattier. So it makes sense to do it this way. You could do it differently, but I get why in overlay crochet you would want to do it this way. So it's nothing against the pattern maker or the designer or anything like that. It's just crochet through back loop. I'm not a huge fan, but it's working out. And this yarn is a fingering, and so it's going to make a nice light blanket, but the blanket is going to be good size. I mean, this is folded in 4. So, I mean, this is going to be the width of the blanket. Like, you can't even see it on screen. I don't have a ruler right here, but this is about, I would say this is about 12 inches, give or take, times 4. So it's going to be at least 48 inches, and it has an envelope border to go around it. I have never done that technique, and so I was texting with Peggy about this, and it's going to make it bigger, yes, but I am very interested sometimes in trying new things, and that's why you'll see that I make random things, and people will ask me all the time when they see me making them, like, who's that for? What's that for? It's because there's a technique in there probably that I haven't tried before, and I want to give it a try. So I am really intrigued about this envelope border. I will put the information down below. This is on a Facebook group of hers. It is a free pattern, but in order to get it, you need to join the group. That's the way to support the designer. So this is going to be so cool. I just need to catch up from making my mistake. But anyway, and that's what all this is. This is all the yarn from the row that I had to take out. I put the row all the way back in and realized that I forgot to do the part that, of the pattern that makes the 9. So I had to rip it all back out, and I gave up for the night. So, okay. So I feel like I'm missing a crochet. This is cross stitch pattern. Cross stitch. I feel like I'm missing something, but then I feel that I probably didn't really work on a lot in the last 2 weeks. I don't know, but I started a project as a gift. It's on 18 count antique white Aida, and this is how far I got. There's black and then like 20 shades of blue and brown. I'll put a picture here. It's Decorative Butterfly from Etsy. So I was working on the black, but then a lot of the black, like around this area that I've already completed, is kind of confetti. And so is the blues and the browns. And I know from hanging out at my cross stitch shop that there is a over-dyed floss that is like the same shades of blue and brown. And I'm thinking about going and getting that and then just using that for everything that's not a 310. Yeah. I was hoping to have this done by Christmas, but I stalled out on the confetti. And if I had done 112 stitches a day, I would have got this done in time to frame for Christmas. But I'm sure I can catch up if I choose a different floss. If it's confetti, I'm never going to catch up because there's like literally 1 or 2 stitches here and then there and then everywhere. I just don't, and the pattern itself says, if you feel that there's too many colors, use less colors. Really? So I'm going to use one color. I'm going to go get the variegated floss. That's the same shades of brown and blue. And I don't know the name of it offhand, but I will share it with you when, I think that was back. I think this is the direction it goes, actually. I will share it with you when I get it. I just forgot to get it when I was there the last time I was hanging out with my friends at the cross stitch shop. Okay, so then I started another one, and this is the reason why I haven't been working on the Musselburgh during my lunch breaks, because I've been working on this on my lunch breaks because it's a secret stitch. Remember I told you about this love is in the air, no wait, that's bacon? And I said, no, I'm not going to start it because I won't get it done in time. I started it. I think I started it the next day. No, my last video was on a Sunday, and I started it on Tuesday. I would have started it on Monday on my lunch break, but I was going to do it on this Aida, on another piece of this Aida, but then I found that there's fractional stitches, and that's not going to fly with me. So there's fractional stitches in the pigs, the little piggies, to make them nice and smooth, which is fine. So I came back home Monday, got some different fabric, and started it on Tuesday on my lunch. And I have 5 stitches to go plus the back stitching. So here we are, 2 weeks time. Or has it been 3 weeks since my last video? Anywho. So I just have on their little snouts, I have some stitches in a color, and then I have each of their eyes and then the back stitching. The words went really, really fast. This didn't take me too long. This took me just over a week, and that's because I didn't have 2 of the colors. Once I got the other 2 colors, it flew, and I got that word bacon done, and it's so cute. It looks like bacon. This pig only took me a couple of days because I was working out my lunch breaks, and actually I was ready for work early. So I actually went to work, got to work about a half an hour early, so that way I could have like a solid half an hour of stitching instead of stitching at home for like 10 minutes, packing it up, going to work, unpacking, working for 10 minutes, and then packing it back up. I just went early. So that way I only had to unpack and pack it up one time. This pig here, I did most of it on Friday morning. I finished the one pig and then started that pig on Friday morning because I took all the Fridays off this month and my husband was at work. So I did as much as I could, and then I finished it up today on my lunch. So, and what I've been doing is actually eating at my desk and working, and then so that way I could have my entire lunch break. So I probably won't do that going forward, and when I get this done, I won't do that. I'll go back to how I normally, I'll eat and then use the rest of the time to craft. But my husband and my daughter and my father-in-law are going up north to rock hunt on Thursday night. So I'm actually going to finish this Thursday night. Well, I have to do the back stitching, but they're going to be gone all night. We'll see. Because our anniversary is on Saturday the 29th, so I need to get it done. I was just thinking like, oh yeah, I'll work on something else on my lunch breaks, but I don't know. I should probably get that back stitching done. It won't take me that long. I mean, it's just 2 little pigs and the outline around them. It shouldn't take that long. And back stitching, oh, this is 28 count Monaco. Back stitching on Monaco to me is easy. So I should be able to get that done without a problem. Let's see. Should take me a half an hour per pig, if that. Okay, so then I needed a break from the crochet blanket. So I looked over in my stack of WIPGO, all the WIPGO pieces that were pulled, I had them pulled out, and Joy in the Journey was sitting there. So I put some more stitches in. Joy in the Journey. Not a ton, but I made some extra progress. I made some progress. So I put the leaves here. And in this line of text, it said the, is, and D. So I put in the rest of the word blessed. I put in all of this. And then I put in all of this down here, which is a bee skep and more flowers and foliage. So not a ton, but a little bit is a little bit. So I'm going to mark this off my WIPGO and move on to something else. And that is all that I have to talk to you about my projects. I don't really have a shop update. I do realize that I forgot to tell you all why I chose Cornerstone Stitchery as the name of my business. So, I mean, I could talk about that. I didn't exactly tell you where to purchase the charts from if you wanted to get them, so I could talk to you about that. So if you would like to stick around for a couple minutes, I'll explain those two things, and then that will be the end of the video. So if you want to stop here and go off to another video, thank you so much for stopping by. If you hang around, thank you so much for hanging around. Traditionally, like a cornerstone, like in the biblical times, they use cornerstones, I believe, for two purposes. And please, like, in the comment section, if I'm wrong or you want to have a discussion about it, let's talk. But I believe there's two purposes. One, it's a cornerstone is used at the corner of a building to shore up and square up the walls, the other walls. So you put the one cornerstone down and you build the rest of the home or building off of that, and it helps ensure that you get the walls in the right direction and they're all square and lined up. The other, I believe, and this one I'm not 100% on, so let's discuss it. I believe cornerstones were also used in marking where plots of land started and ended. So like one landowner is over here and they put their cornerstone, and then there's another landowner over there. I believe that, like I said, this one I'm not 100% on. So we could talk about this and see if I'm right or if I'm misremembering something. But with that being said, one of the names that you could give Jesus is Cornerstone, and there's songs about it. I'm sure it comes up in Psalms, but Cornerstone comes up in the Bible time after time after time, and Jesus is said to be our cornerstone, the rock that which we stand, and like that. And gives us structure and stability, and make sure that we're square and on the right track and all of those things. So Cornerstone Stitchery. Then the other thing is, the other talking point that we have today is where to buy my charts. Right now, like I said in the previous video, I do not have an e-commerce site just because they cost extra funds, and I want to save that for later as the business grows. So right now you can get the charts, my charts, Cornerstone Stitchery, from my local needlework shop, Stitch in Time. I do have the information in the description box of the last video, but I will put it here. It is also listed on my website. I added a page titled Where to Buy. So that way, no matter who you are, where you're from, you know, if you're not able to get to the store in person, then you have their contact information. I put their address, their phone number, and their email. You can contact them all three ways: in person, by phone, by email. They are not online, so there is no Facebook page, there is no website. The other thing that I didn't necessarily put on my website, but I'm telling you here, and I will put the information down below. I will probably add it to the website sometime this week. That if you see something that one of the charts and you want one of the charts, you can always email me or direct message me through Instagram or anything like that. You can contact me and I can send you an invoice. And once the invoice is paid, then I can ship the items out to you, or you can pick them up if you're local, whatever works for you. This is going to be a slow build of a business, and so e-commerce and all of that will come later, but there's still ways to purchase things. So I'm using a professional invoicing software, and I can invoice you and you can pay, and then I will ship. So there are a couple options at this point. But if you don't live local to me and you live somewhere else and you have a local needlework shop and you would love to see them stock my charts, give them my contact information and ask them to check into my charts, and we can have a discussion and come up with an agreement, and I can get them the charts. So Cornerstone Stitchery will get out there, God willing, and in his time. I'm not overly stressing about it, but if you guys have leads for me, I'll follow up on those leads, or like I said, give my contact information out. If you would like to purchase one of the charts, send me an email or a direct message and let's chat, okay? But other than that, that's all I have for you this week. I hope that something you've seen today gives you the inspiration to pick up a languishing whip, or maybe to try something new. And I'm trying something new. The overlay mosaic crochet and the envelope border are something new. So I hope you try something new. And until I see you next time, have a great week. Bye.